All right. So this is Brownie, Sunday morning special podcast. We are pleased to welcome into the morning skate the defending Patty Kazmaier award winner, newly crowned hockey's champion for the fifth consecutive year, with a 24-3-2 record on the season, 1.03 goals against, and a 9.57 save percentage. Welcome to the podcast, Aerin Frankel.
Thank you for having me.
So we have a segment on the podcast every week where we call it Mea Culpas. It's the mistakes we talk about, things we screwed up last week. I'm just going to put my hand up right now that Aerin has been gracious enough that we were talking for like 15 minutes before this genius realized that he never hit record. So thankfully, she has the patience of a goaltender that she is willing to hang around and go through this again because your boy Brownie's not so good with the computers. So there's our Mea Culpa.
No worries. No worries.
All right, so here we are. It's Sunday morning, a little later than we originally started. And you're just coming off the Hockey East Championship last night with a thrilling game that I was fortunate enough to be at with a 3-1 victory. We're going to talk about some of the emotions and the group that you achieved this goal with.
Yeah, I mean, we're all obviously overwhelmed with joy and happiness and extremely excited to win another Hockey East championship. It's always really fun when you're playing for something as big as, the league championship. And to be able to come out on top last night was super special for us and the program. And yeah, it's definitely going to fuel us towards our next goal.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, this group, including Aerin, I think there's 7 of you total that are grad students now due to the COVID pandemic. The NCAA granted you guys an extra year of eligibility, everyone, not just you guys.
Right.
And you guys have achieved something that may never get duplicated because you were able to go 5 seasons without ever losing a Hockey East playoff game, which I don't know if that'll ever be duplicated unless there's another pandemic, God forbid.
Yeah, we're really grateful for that COVID year. It would have been really sad to be done last year, and I think just knowing that we had this fifth year and we are all going to get to come back was something that kept us going and kept us at ease. Obviously, a tough way to end last season, but having another shot at it this year is really special. And I think the NCAA, did a really great thing by giving people the year back. And I know a lot of people who are taking advantage of it. So, like you said, we were able to win 5 straight Hockey East championships. So that's pretty special.
Yeah, nice little bit of symmetry too is that your first Hockey East championship was against UConn, and your last Hockey East championship for you specifically, your group is also against UConn. I mean, UConn's probably not thrilled about it, but it's nice for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're a bit frustrated at this point, but they're a really, really great team, and I think it says a lot that they've been in that championship game a number of times over the past 4 or 5 years, and I think that speaks to the type of team they have and their coaching staff. They're always really hard to play against, and they're challenging for us even when we just play them during the regular season as well.
Now, I know because we already talked about this that you grew up in Chappaqua, New York, playing hockey, started skating early, and then what was it that made you want to make the transition to goalie?
I think at a very young age, I was drawn in by the goalie being the only player that got to play the whole game, and I wanted to be on the ice the whole time. And like I said, my parents weren't thrilled about it, but I was very persistent with wanting to play goalie. And once I tried it, I loved it, and I kind of made a compromise with my parents to, play goalie sometimes, and then also sometimes, skate out, not play goalie. And I think ultimately they just realized that that was a fight they weren't going to win when I fell in love with that position. So yeah, it definitely started off as a bit of a fight for me.
It's funny is that's one of the common threads you hear with goalies is that they were like, I can play the whole game. That seems to be the click for a lot of kids. They're like, I don't have to come off the ice, right? All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then there's obviously many ways to look at it, and some people are like, yeah, you have the most control in the game of what happens and the outcome, and some people like that pressure, some people don't.
Yeah, fair. So sophomore year is when you went to Shattuck St. Mary's?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you went to Shattuck St. Mary's. Big change going out to Minnesota. You had told me that you had a friend from home that was there, so that was a little bit of a soft landing. He was on the boys team, yeah?
Yep.
All right. What was your experience? If you want to describe your experience at Shattuck a little bit.
Yeah, my 3 years were incredible. I definitely wouldn't trade them for anything, and, I would recommend that place to any young hockey player. It helped me develop so much, not only as a player, but as a person, and I felt like I was constantly surrounded with, people that were making me better, on and off the ice in the classroom, pushing me to be my best, and I think people joke that Shattuck's a little bit of a hockey factory, and it definitely is. They produce some of the most amazing players on the women's side and on the men's side. You know, they've had a lot of guys in the NHL and representing the US and Canada. And I think it just goes to show they do a lot of really awesome things there. And it's just a great place. And I'm very lucky to have been a part of it.
I heard an interview, I think, with Crosby where he was saying, I guess they had to play a spring sport for the boys' side. Was that applicable to the girls' hockey team as well? Did you have to play multiple sports?
Yeah, you had the option to do like running program or just play a sport, but most of us hockey girls played lacrosse.
Oh, nice, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, for everyone out there at home, one of the best young goaltenders in the women's game. Played multi sports growing up. Don't force your kid into just one sport. It's not a recipe that works out for the most part. Uh, Now, also I didn't want to forget Maureen Murphy and Maddie Mills were both your teammates over at Shattuck, both on the NU roster. Mills coming in as a transfer grad student, and that's got to be a nice feeling to have these two with you the whole way.
Yeah, it's awesome. Having Murph come in and then Maddie, it's really special, and it's obviously something that I never imagined would happen, but, the kinda stars aligned for us, and, we reunited here at Northeastern, which has been incredible, and I we always joke that it's so funny to look across the locker room and see one another and kinda be like, "This is so crazy and weird, but also so awesome," and, we also joke that if our Shattuck team were to come together and make a college team, that would be incredible, so it's kinda funny that we have, 3 of the pieces together for that puzzle, and, yeah, I think if you were to tell 14, 15-year-old us that, we were gonna get to go to college together and win championships together, we wouldn't believe it, so it's really special.
Yeah, that always makes it better for sure. So now Northeastern, you were recruited. I'm guessing Flint came, and what was the decision that made you choose Northeastern?
I really liked Northeastern for many different reasons. I think one of them was definitely the coaches. I talked a bit with Coach Flint, and he seemed like such a great person. And obviously, you can only learn so much about someone when you're just having a conversation with them. And as a young player, it's a tough decision where you want to commit to, and you're young and you don't know a whole lot about the school, but just what they tell you and you visit. But Coach Flint made me feel very welcome. And he seemed to believe in me, which I really liked, and he seemed just like a great person, very down to earth, and that was something that I don't think you can say about every single coach you talk to. I feel like you just get a different connection, and every coach is different, but my conversations with Coach Flint definitely resonated with me.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Like I said, I met him a few times, and he seems like he's a super nice guy. And the thing I notice behind the bench, he's very even keeled. No matter what the situation, he seems calm and cool back there. And I think
Yeah,
that
he
translates
definitely
to you guys.
it definitely influences us. I think we preach the team, our captains, just to never get too high or never get too low and just stay the course of the game. And we talked about how that's kind of the story of last night with the championship, going down 1 goal and then being able to score two in a short frame of time and finishing the game off well defensively. It just goes to show that Coach Flint's demeanor, it carries on to all of us, and he knows when to get on us, but he's always very level-headed and confident in us.
Actually, there was a sequence. I was talking to Coach Carpenito after the game. There was a sequence in the game last night. You guys were up 2-1. Game was certainly not in hand at that point. It still could go either way. And I don't. We looked up at one point, and the camera, whichever camera was linked to the jumbotron, had a close up of Fontaine on the bench, and she was staring directly at the camera, and she was like singing along with the music with a huge smile. And I said to Carpenito, I'm like, man, the bench, they were so relaxed. He's like, yeah, man, they know what they got to do. It's ice water in the veins. That's what they do. And I think that all it stems from Flint. The example he sets, you can see no one was too tense, no one was squeezing their sticks.
Yeah. He
I mean,
definitely
she may
said
have been a little too relaxed, but I
right,
was like, "Well, if she's calm, then it should be alright," you know?
mhm, and
Yeah.
he preaches that to us all the time, and, he came in the locker room after we were down 1-0, and he said, um, a lot of great things to us, just, you know, we were fine and, stay the course of the game, trust the process, and he said similar things even when we were up 2-1, that we've been in that situation before. We obviously have a lot of experience in championships, so there was no need to, grip our sticks too tight or be nervous. Obviously, you're gonna have some nerves playing in a championship game, but, we had all for the most part, with the exception of our freshmen, been there before, and we knew what it takes.
Um, okay, so we know your goals for this year aren't done. Um, I did wanna talk about your future plans, Olympic path, kinda see what happens, what you were thinking, g moving forward after the season, if you've
Yeah,
thought about it at all.
yeah, I don't have any plans right now. I think I'll think about it more this spring and into summer, and kind of decide what's best for me. I'm gonna, um, leave my options open and look at the different paths I could take with hockey and consider them all, and then ultimately decide what's best for me. But I'm not really set on anything right now.
Do you plan to stay in this area, or are you going back to New York, or just kinda, again, see how it goes?
Yeah, see how it goes. I love Boston a lot, and it's pretty close to home for me, so I wouldn't mind staying around Boston.
Nice. I did wanna ask you too, back to the game for a second. We talked about it before I screwed it up, the recording. With your team and I mean, it's a dominant offensive possessions, long stretches of time when you're back there by yourself. I noticed that you keep dialed in, the gloves up, you're ready to go, you're constantly manipulating, and it looks almost like you're like visualizing plays as you're squaring up and working on your angles, even when the puck's not there. And has that always been something that you've done, or is that something you developed at Northeastern or at Shattuck?
I think I developed it at Northeastern just because every game's so different, and I think it's really important for me to stay focused. And hockey's such a fast sport that's there's so many bounces and unpredictable things that can happen on the ice. And I think just being focused at all times is how I can be at my best. And I've had success um, doing what I do, and just regardless of the score, the opponent that we're playing, just approaching every game the same way.
Have you always been vocal out there, or like you are now? Have you always had that in you?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've always, I'm a chatty person off the ice as well, so I think, it comes naturally to me to talk to my teammates on the ice and help them out, let them know what I see from the net, and sometimes I have a different perspective than they do, and I can see the whole ice.
Yeah, you actually, we talked about it before, but you actually got some offensive sequences going with the long outlets, which trying to catch them in a change. I mean, that's a killer if you hit that. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, anytime I can, I try to play the puck a lot, and I think it makes the lives of my defenders, easier, and they've said that a lot, and I think, just playing with this group of D for a while now, we kind of read off each other, and I think they know what to expect from me, um, when I go out and play the puck, and they fan out to the corner, and they call for it, and, we have a pretty good thing going back there.
I'd imagine it keeps you engaged as well. The more you touch the puck.
Yeah, it definitely keeps you engaged, like you said, if you're not getting a lot of shots, but you're stopping the wraps around the net and playing the puck to your D, it definitely keeps you involved and keeps you focused.
Uh, Regarding your playing, number 33. I asked you, I know, but any significance in the double three?
Not really. I was 3 growing up, and I didn't think that that would fly in college, so kind of just added a 3, and my dad wore 33, so it was just a number I liked, and now I couldn't imagine wearing anything different.
Yeah. And then we talked about your lack of superstitions. I imagine that goalies are very polar. It would be either a tremendous amount or like none altogether. I don't see
I
a
would
lot of
agree.
gray, you know.
Yeah, I think yeah, you definitely see both. It's an interesting question to ask people. I think, yeah, some goalies are weird. I think we're all a little bit weird, but some goalies have more, like, quirky things they have to do, and, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was a lacrosse coach. That's how I know Coach Carpenito. I was his coach, but the goalies, I mean, I worked with him, but I was like, yeah, long you good? Yep, okay. I mean, that's pretty much
Mhm.
it. You know, with
Sorry, you cut out for a sec.
goalies, you just do your own thing.
Yeah, you
Oh,
definitely
hey
do.
there. Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just saying with goalies, it's always been a little bit of a hands off. Yeah. All right. So I want to hit you with some quick hits about the team, if that's all right.
Yep.
Are you can hear me? There's a delay. You good? Okay. In the room, who's the DJ?
Mia Brown has the music.
All right. Who's the biggest chirper on ice, off ice? Who's always running their mouth out there?
Tessa Ward.
I would have picked her
Mhm.
actually, just by the way she plays.
Yeah.
Is there someone like who's always keeping the team loose, a cut up in there, breaking the tension?
I would probably say Skylar Fontaine.
Okay. Uh, who's got the hardest shot that you face in practice?
The hardest to stop or the hardest
All right, both.
power? I would
Hardest to
say the
stop and
hardest to stop, um, for me personally is Peyton Anderson. She has something about her release, it always gets me. And the hardest shot is probably Renner or, um, at times could be Alina.
okay. Um, so this is a chirp directly from Coach Carp. He says that he can't shoot on you in practice anymore since it will destroy your confidence. Any comment on that?
I'm glad that he cares about my confidence.
Perfect. uh who's always the one that's late that gets everyone in trouble?
We don't really have anyone that's late because
All right.
expectations are high.
Keys to the championship right there, be on time.
Mhm.
Uh who's got the sickest, like, I don't know if you guys do penalty shot drills, but who gets you more than not?
Alina probably with the moves, or Maureen Murphy.
Okay. Okay. One person on the squad that you need, no matter you're in trouble, no matter the time, place. There we go. I don't know why it keeps cutting out.
I got you. I would say Maddie Mills.
Matty Mills, nice. Okay.
Mhm.
And then this last one about the team. I don't know if they read our stuff, but I've been referring to Andrea Renner as Hawkeye. You think she'll be all right with that?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, fair enough. And then we got a lightning round just for you. All right. This is how we end all our interviews. So we're almost done. Uh do you talk to the post like Flurry does?
No.
No. Okay. Favorite cartoon character?
I don't not into cartoons.
Not even when you were a kid? There's no nostalgia from like
I
a
guess, like,
cartoon when you were younger?
SpongeBob, if that counts.
SpongeBob, fair. Yeah, he's a cartoon. Besides Northeastern, favorite and least favorite rinks that you've played in?
I would say my least favorite, um, is Maine, up in Orono, and my favorite, um it's a tough one. I like playing in UNH.
Oh, nice. Your go-to pizza topping?
Just cheese.
Just cheese. Okay. Black tape or white tape, and you go heel to toe or toe to heel?
I do white tape heel to toe.
Heel to toe. Okay. Guilty pleasure TV show or your most recent binge?
I've been watching Cobra Kai. It's
Oh,
pretty good.
yeah, that's pretty funny. You probably don't remember the originals, but
Mhm.
it's pretty funny because they just switched it all up. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
worth
awesome.
it. Yeah. Do you remember your first stick, goalie or not? And if you do, what was it?
Yeah, it was like a not goalie stick. It was a white and green vapor, like 40 flex or something ridiculous, and it was tiny.
Nice. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
All right. Which current NHL player reminds you of your game?
Um, that's tough. I don't know. I haven't really been
Yeah, I imagine you don't
focusing
have a whole lot of time for watching NHL
too
either.
much on particular players. In the past, I would say Fleury probably.
Okay. Your favorite pastime not hockey related?
Playing with dogs.
Well, you have a couple of dogs, yeah?
I do.
What do you have?
I have a Rottweiler and a Maltipoo.
Nice. And they get
Yeah,
along?
they do.
Nice. Nice. Um, alarm tone on your phone?
It's always silent.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Are you a multi-text person or are you a paragraph text person?
multi.
Okay. And there's the last one. Most famous person in your phone?
Uh, it's a tough question. It'd probably be someone hockey related, like Kendall Coyne.
There you go. That's a great one. She's famous for sure. Well, that's all I got for you, and I appreciate you restarting with me due to my technical challenges.
Of course.
Um, and I'm actually going to be interviewing Carp, I believe tomorrow after the selection. So anything that you want delivered, this is your platform to 100,000 plus people to tell Carp.
Um, I got nothing for him.
Actually, that's almost better. Pigeon. You don't need to bother with him. All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, for the morning skate, we all thank you for coming. We all wish you luck going forward. We'll all be watching. I'll be writing about it as well, and hopefully we'll be in there again next weekend to watch.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, that's it for this Sunday edition of the Morning Skate. Thank you to Aerin Frankel, and we will see you all soon. I don't. So it's 22 minutes. I don't know how to stop it. Oh, there we go. End.